the crest or the Christ story. And the Christ story was always there was a female that was a virgin, right?
Mm-hmm.
That for some kind of way got pregnant. Let's just be honest.
Right.
You can find it in Native American, you can find it Japanese, Chinese, you can find it
Right.
Viking. Come on, man. Russian.
Mm-hmm.
This Christ story where there was always a Madonna that had a special child, and this child was like Hercules. It was a half human, half
A
God.
demigod.
There it is, a demigod. And this
Which,
demigod had to prove their worth by saving something that was less than them. And notice with all the mythology and stories, who was
right.
the less than? It was us,
Right.
the fucking humans.
Well,
Right or wrong? I mean, right or wrong?
no, you're absolutely right because with my history and my learnings, we a lot of people don't pay attention to the Eye of Horus.
Hmm.
That's my next tattoo, the Eye of Horus.
Badass.
The same Egyptian. I mean, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying Christianity. There's no such thing as Christianity because the Christ never wanted to be part of Christianity. Let's just be
Well,
honest.
okay, let's just say this. That concept did not even exist.
Mm,
Keep in
no,
mind, keep in mind, historically, check me on this.
I'm with you.
Historically,
I'm with you.
now I say that to the people. Historically, Christianity, which was created by the Romans and their
Hmm.
oppressors to make fun of the ones that believed in a joker that they handled.
Right.
Like
Christianity.
they gave
Christianity was right. It was used as the same word as a nigger. Christianity then it was used as the same disrespect as a nigger.
right because you are worshiping a motherfucker that got capital punishment by our
Right.
hand, and it
Right.
happened. Right?
Right.
Okay. Now this is the thing. This is not what we talking. What I'm talking about, and what you expounded on. This is not about the Christ. This is
Okay.
about the story. If we was to be just literary lawyers, right? You know, I always go back to that.
Okay. Right.
And we say we just investigating the story. The
Right.
story is so unique that when you go through other cultures and other races all over the world, there's always this repetitive story of
Hmm.
there is a woman that's a virgin and some kind of way she get pregnant, right? And have a baby.
Right.
Guess what? That means that baby, oh man, I'm finna go deep. Let me know if I'm able. Let me know if
I'm
I'm able.
with you, man.
All right.
I'm with you. Come on.
Okay. You got so many chromosomes that come from the mom, so many
Hmm.
chromosomes that come from the dad, right?
Right.
These chromosomes come together, and when they match, then they create a human, right? So far, the evidence showed that the only way you can create a human, even if you don't have human involvement physically, is you still have to have human DNA, right or wrong.
Right.
So, this divine intervention where you got abducted some kind of way and then got pregnant. Watch this. But if you go back to the history, and I'm not trying to downplay Christianity, I'm just throwing some real shit, right? And I'm just spitting. If you go down through the history, the time period of when supposedly Mary got pregnant by this divine intervention, she
Hmm.
was a minor,
Right.
right or wrong. She was a minor.
You right. Yep. You
And
right.
she got pregnant. Okay, right? By the story.
Right.
I'm saying by the story. I'm speaking to that. By the story, she got pregnant. And then, watch this. You go to the King James Version. I'm gonna let you do your homework. Just check me on that. I don't remember exactly. I think it's Matthew, but I don't say. Anyway, Elizabeth, I think that was her name.
Her cousin.
Same situation. She was married, couldn't have kids. Her husband was a high degree of great significance. Peep this. I think it's in Matthew, where you can go through there, or you can find it in the Quran, not the Quran, but anywhere where they have the New Testament. Let me correct that. And you'll see where Mary didn't even know she was pregnant until I think her name was Elizabeth stepped in. And when she stepped in, then Mary said she felt the baby jump in her womb, right? Watch this. Watch this weird shit. And excuse my cussing. It's just the way I deliver it. Before Mary even gets pregnant, let me rewind. Before Mary even gets, Elizabeth, her cousin, come to find out, gets pregnant before she does, just by visiting her and hearing her voice. Watch this. Who is this baby that happened again by Immaculate Conception? This thing happened twice. I know this ain't a popular pick. And, I'm just saying, this thing happened twice, right? So who is this baby that's the promoter of Jesus? Who is this baby? John the Baptist. And come to find out, this shit was so freaky. I think historically, he was born, she got pregnant with him, and he was born 6 months before he was supposed to be ready to go. And what was his whole mission? Was promoting
the coming of the Christ.
Pope. So you think about it. Go ahead.
No. This is your moment. This is your stage, bro. I'm enjoying this.
I'm enjoying this. Come on. I know some people look at me and they say, why would you say alien? I'll say, okay. For you King James versions, right?
Right.
If you go back to the beginning of these books, like Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, it breaks down a genealogy, right?
Right.
You start reading it. Start reading. Look up majority of the names that you read. The African tribes, including
I was going there. I was going there. The Egyptians. We
always hear about the Egyptians. Good point.
Well, the reason I say that
about the Amorites, the Amalekites, the Philistines, the Phoenician, we don't hear that all that. So when you read these books and this persecution, you don't realize that you saying amen, man, this might get me in trouble. You saying amen to your prosecutor,
right,
who murdered and pillaged when they had the opportunity. Your people.
Right.
Your people.
The reason I say that is because
my joint.
The Bible tried to have a parallel. This is what I say. This is my opinion. And over the learning and course and everything. First of all, let's get it straight. I believe in Christ. I believe in the resurrection. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that and everything. But I think the Bible tried to do a parallel of between Moses, how he was birthed from a mother of Hebrew, and she was found by royalty, you know what I'm saying, which was Pharaoh's sister. Raising the house of the kings, raising the house of love and everything. And then, like the Christ said, he said, I'm not here to do away with the law, but I'm here to fulfill the law. So don't compare me to what you've read. You know,
I
for
tell you what.
me personally, go ahead.
I tell you what. You here you go instigating again. I tell you what. It was a brilliant thing you brought up when you brought up Moses. And I want to say this. Really want to jump on this dude. Uh, Moses was like the ultimate crossover star.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah.
One of the few characters that you can read about in the Kabbalah, in the Quran,
Is and
and
in the
in the
Bible
Bible.
is
Like, there's not too
Moses.
many characters. I hope I brought that and made that clear. There's not too many characters
You
you read,
made
right?
you made
To
it
my
very
Christian
clear.
brothers and sisters. Check that out. Now, read this. Think about this. The way the shit went down. Excuse my cousin, but this is the way I express myself. The way the shit went down. The Pharaoh wasn't playing. It was a
Nah.
form of population control. It's historically known that ancient civilizations been doing this when they take over a civilization that has a population greater than them. So what would they do? Start killing the firstborn boys, right? Because the boys spread the seed. All right, here go Egypt. Here we go. What you gonna do? You just took over a race of people that clearly outnumber you and clearly have a form of economics that you have no clue of under the table, let's just say, right? What do? Well, they felt like they had to use drastic measures, almost in the form of capital punishment. When you're talking about killing off babies, and you have the authority to kill off the firstborn. Like, really? Wow. But anyway, but they were your slaves, right? So, anyway, Moses, this dude, educated. They say he wrote majority of the Old Testament, which historically they say Moses wrote Genesis, Exodus. It's been a long time from Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and all that shit. Right? He wrote the first, I think, 5, 6 books of the Old Testament. That's the main idea. This dude who killed an official. And normally, back in that day, if you was somebody that killed an officer, basically, it was like killing a cop. It was stick a fork in him. You're done. Capital punishment to the ultimate degree. You're done, right? But for some reason, this dude named Moses, who killed like an officer, was able to flee into the wilderness, right? Why? Why was he able to hide out that good? Because he grew up there. Now, this is the thing. This is my main point, ladies and gentlemen. If I was to examine this, listen to this story, man. Come on, man. You gotta admit the story is kind of bumpy. The dude
Yep.
floated in a basket. They say similar to a bread basket.
Mm-hmm.
Floated down a Nile. Hold on. First of all, if you look up historically how supposedly the basket floated, this had to have been during a time which was like early morning when the current poured out.
Right.
Where things can float around the bank, right?
Right.
Think about it. Yesiah, whatever his pretty mom name was, she knew. She had been watching the whole time. And she knew about the tide and the current of the Red or what was it, Red Sea or the Nile? Basically, that's what it was. Feed also from the Nile.
From now, right?
The way they irrigated it. So she had to know how this thing was behaving to float this dude. Now watch this. To the ladies and gentlemen, they say, "Halt, make it short. Come on, man."
Nah, yeah, you good, man.
Even with all of this happening, you still got to pass the image test. Come on, man, for a pharaoh that's African to pull it off of a Hebrew kid passing as an Egyptian. Come on, man. Was he not half black?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
the question. That's what we really need to be asking ourselves. Was there not some African traits in this dude that made it possible to where she can pull this off?
Yeah, I mean, he married a black woman. His wife was black. His brother-in-law was black.
Yes, sir.
His father-in-law was black.
Yes, sir. But I'm saying, as a baby, but that to be able to happen, because we always talking about coincidence. Yes, coincidence is real. But if we think about it, the coincidence that the timing was so perfect that this orphan, soon to be orphan, who's the oldest, who can cross over enough to look like an Egyptian, and he must have been a beautiful dude, a beautiful baby, to be able to float the opposite way to a pharaoh's daughter, and she say, "He is so cute, he is so beautiful. I'm going to make him mine." Come on, come on. She knew.
Yep.
She knew. This wasn't no Egyptian, full blood Egyptian. She knew that.
Right.
And he grows up. Tell me this. Why was he able to walk back after being gone for so long? Why was he able to walk back to the front gates and tell them he wanted to basically say, "I got words for my brother, Pharaoh. Let him know
My
I'm
brother.
here." And they didn't kill his ass. You know why? Because he had that family coat, that cloak,
We have the power.
that royalty.
Mm-hmm.
And when they saw that, when he showed back up, they was like, "This dude's royalty. We can't kill him."
Right.
Think about that.
No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
And let's be real, most of those stories back in the day,
Nigga, I failed. Nigga, my hip hurt. Nigga, I failed. God damn it.
I talked this nigga to death.
nigga, my hip hurt like a motherfucker, nigga.
So what is it?
You got to talk some real stuff. I had to walk it out. God damn it, nigga, I tripped over my own feet. Nigga, my hip hurt like a motherfucker right now.
Damn 40. The balance ain't the same. Yeah, that's what it is.
Nah, ain't no party. Ain't no party. But nah, you speaking some real facts.
Well, you instigated. You brought up Moses.
No.
Yeah, you did. I mean, you brought up Moses. So when you think about that, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, Moses, and even when you talk about the story of Lilith, you ever heard about this story? Now I'll let it go because I know we've been talking about it.
No, yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good, man.
Yeah,
Lilith was the original woman, not the wife.
My brother's educated. There we go. Let the folk know.
She was the original woman. Lilith is
Go ahead.
She's the beginning. She felt like she was equal to Adam. But I gotta bow down to you.
And this one was petty.
Yeah.
This was petty about this story. My brother is right. Lilith, supposedly by the old stories, the ancient stories, Lilith was the original Eve. She was the first one.
Well,
Things was
to be
going.
honest with you, to be honest with you, that's why I say that's why I can't call her the original Eve because Little was born out of our likeness.
No, let's hold on. Let's just say, even by all the old accounts,
Okay.
Lilith was there before Eve, right?
Facts.
Shit went down. And man, I'm finna blow your mind, man. If you let me break this down, I'm finna blow your mind.
I got you.
So shit went down, right? Supposedly, rumor has it, Lilith, watch this, like to be on top. Do your research on this. Adam didn't like it. So Adam went to God and complained about it. Now, you ask me, so what was his complaint? The same shit he did with Eve. This is that you ain't gonna like this. Adam was a little bitch, man. If you think about it, Adam was never accountable for nothing. This nigga was spoiled like my. Okay, think about it. So Eve brings you a fruit or whatever it was, and Eve say, "Eat this." You didn't ask her where this come from. None of that. You ate it. Okay. But if we rewind, the only person that was told not to eat this, that, this, and that was Adam, right or wrong. Eve was never told that, was she? So you have to know that there had to be somebody before her. Keep in mind, watch this. I'm going to blow your mind. Adam was formed, he was put to sleep, right? This is what the rumor has it. And then God spent a time bringing things he created in front of Adam and having him name it, like entertainment. Hey, look at this. I made this. What you call this? And Adam would name it. I name it so and so. Oh, that's cute. Okay. What about this? This went on for a period of time, right? So that means Eve was totally out of the picture. Who was there? It had been Lilith. Now watch this. Hawk, you talking too harsh? No, I ain't. Watch this. When God finally in the story, when God boys walked through the garden, he asked Adam, he said, "Where you at?" And I said, "Well, I'm over here." "Why you over there? Why you hide?" "Because I'm naked." "Well, why you know you're naked?" And what does Adam do? Repeat this. Adam don't say, "Man, I fucked up." Okay, I'm just
Put it on woman. Put it on woman. I know.
I slipped up. You already broke down the rules to me, man. I gave in. I was slipping. No. What does Adam do? He blames everything on Eve. "Well, it was that woman you made me." Listen at that. It was that woman you made me. So it almost make you like, if he brought that up, then this happened before. It was that woman you made me. So did you and whoever that was there in the garden, did y'all have this negotiation after Lilith left? And then you said, "Hey man, I want no part of it. If you make me another one, I want no part of it." And so then you put them to sleep, make the next one, break down the rules, but the next one still fucked up on you. And the reason why the next one fucked up on you, because of your ass. I'm being honest. Just go through and look at that. Adam never was accountable.
Nobody was. Action. Nobody was.
I'm talking about in that situation.
Nobody. I always say this. Son, this I always say. You know, this like I always say this. Nobody took responsibility. The only person that took responsibility in that was the enemy, was the snake.
How? That's a good point, but how?
God asked Adam, like, well, wait a minute. Like, what are you doing? How do you know you're naked? Because woman gave me the fruit, yada, yada, yada. And God asked woman, well, who told you to eat the fruit? the serpent, and God asked the serpent, "Well, what's going on? What are you doing?" And the serpent said, "I'm just doing my job."
Boom. Okay, let me jump in. Here you go instigating again. You're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right.
And I tell people, hold on, let me say this. Because everybody got kicked out of the garden, but who?
The snake.
There you go.
Yeah. Good valid point. Why didn't the snake get kicked out? Because
He took responsibility.
Wait.
Okay.
He talking about the first story of design, premeditation. In other words, this was the first design of premeditation, right? The powers that be was not going to let us just stay in a garden that was in a country called Eden. Doesn't mean it was where the first human beings. It was the first two human beings in this garden called what? Eden. Now, peep this. Now, if you read in there correctly, especially in the King James, it will say, now the snake, which was more subtle than any beast that God, watch this, had made. That God had made. So the narrator, whoever that wrote this joke, which I think was Moses, check me on that, said that the serpent was more subtle, look up that word, cunning,
Okay.
smart, on a mission, than any beast that God had made. So basically, why was the serpent all of a sudden a character in this story? Because the serpent was a diversion. Watch this. What you mean, Hawk? The serpent go to Eve, right? He didn't go to Adam because Adam already knew the rules. Checkmate, homie. Why didn't the serpent go to Adam and went to Eve? Why? She didn't know the rules of engagement. Adam never told her. Think about it. Adam never told her that, hey, there's a chance this what we got to do. Can't eat from here. I'm letting you know this now. And there might be some things that come against you that like question that, but whatever you do, don't do. No. And notice that the serpent, watch this. The serpent broke down the rib. Oh, God said, blah, 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 blah. And if you keep reading that, it said, she never got it. She never understood all that shit the serpent said. Right?
Okay.
It said, go back and read it. It said that Eve's eyes was not open until Adam bit the what? Fruit. Come on, man, investigate that. She encountered the serpent way before she bit the fruit. When he started breaking down about you ain't gonna die, what he mean is this, that. She still didn't get it. They didn't know what death was. She didn't get it. All she know, and it says it in there, it's for real. It says that after he got through talking, she saw that it was good to eat. So she got the dope, she bit it. It tastes good. Watch this. But her eyes was not open until she brought the fruit to who?
To the man, to Adam.
Adam. And when she brought the fruit to Adam and he bit it, he said that her eyes were open. That sounds like premeditation to me.
Whoa, okay. So when you say premeditation, what do you mean by that? Premeditation.
Okay, watch this. Good question. You make a tree of good. Watch this. It has 3 titles.
Okay.
You make a tree of good, evil, and what?
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge. Think about
knowledge. That. All right.
You make a tree of good, evil, and knowledge, and you sit it right next to a tree of what? We forgot about that second tree. What was that?
Right.
The tree of life.
The tree of life.
Supposedly, rumor has it that if you bit of this tree, you lived forever. It don't matter what mistakes you made, It don't affect you.
Okay.
Guess what?
Okay.
So they eat from the tree of the good, evil, and what? Knowledge. So they
Knowledge.
start gaining enough knowledge to say, man, we fucked up. So maybe we need to go eat from the fruit of what? The tree of life. And guess what happened? They got kicked out. They got shut down.
The reason,
Come on, if you bit from the tree of good, evil, and knowledge, all the knowledge was presented to you. You understood that. You understood life.
Okay, so my question to you, which is you make some very great points. You make some great points. So when the Almighty, the Creator made man, you know what I'm saying? You got Enoch, you got Cain, you got Abel, you got all these individuals, this lineage, you know what I'm saying? You got all these lineage. And then my point is you have Job.
Which is older than all of them.
See, come on now. Come on.
Job
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Job is almost up there with the book.
Job is the first. Job is the original books in the Bible.
It's one of the original, and it's almost as old by testing. It's almost as old as the book of Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, preachers don't talk on the book of Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a freaky story. Because you have to accept aliens. You have to. When you read, hold on. If you read the original story of Moses, you have to accept the story of aliens. Yeah. Enoch was abducted, basically. Check me. Read the book. He was abducted.
They call it quote unquote the chariots of heaven.
The chariots of fire.
Right.
Well, that's the way they can explain it. I'm just
having a conversation with you, brother. I'm just having a conversation.
That's what they called it. They called it chariots of fire.
Yeah.
Them booster rockets.
The UFOs, because once again it goes back to the Egyptian time, building the pyramids, building, you know what I'm saying, building the pyramids, building the sanctuary of faith in Egypt.
I tell you what.
I'm just.
That's one place that I hope that someday I can go see before they rip it all down. Is Egypt, because
Cairo.
Just off of eye test, you had machinists with their apps, and they would take pictures of the faces, and then they would invert them and then layer them on top of each other, and they fit perfect. First of all, it is impossible for a human being with a blade and a hammer to hammer both sides exactly the same. Open your eyes. There's a reason why it looks the way it looks. Now watch this. When they start digging through the fucking tunnels, and they were saying it gets darker and darker and darker. Their first theory was that they had mirrors set up, right? Reflecting. Well, reflection is good, but the thing about reflection is the more reflect, the more light it loses.
Right.
So eventually you're still in darkness by the time you get to the lower end. What they found was these clay pots. I don't know if you heard about it. These clay pots that have residuals of some type of acidic citric acid, like wine or orange juice, something like that.
Right. Right.
And these clay pots came in many different sizes. Check me on this. And what they found was at the tip of them, they would find these little cores of copper. Right? So what they found out after all the findings, and they call them the Baghdad battery. Look at that, the Baghdad battery. And basically what it was in that part of the country, These people had enough knowledge to make clay pots, which is negatively charged. They will fill it with an acidic juice. Anything with acid is hydrogen based, right? Here we go. And then they would stick some type of metal coil in the middle of it, right? And at the tip, I think it was copper. They would stick a copper coil in the middle of it, right? Bring it to the tip, and then they would bring, and you can see it on the hieroglyphs. It looked like ears, but really they were wires coming out of these pots. And basically, these pots were batteries. They tested some of these pots up to 24 volts. Like, really? Huge ass pots generating up to 24 volts. So these people had electricity. You know what I'm saying? They had electricity. Listen, don't let your eye fool you. When you look at these pyramids, and they're all over the world, Russia, China, Japan, even the Vikings had pyramids. How is a design of an architecture able to spread all over the world? Because they was using the pyramids the way we use our radio tower. I like the way we did it. See, we brand new to 5G, but 5G already been existing.
Right.
That's what I say. It's a system that already been existing. Did you see that? Did you see that shit where they found these little carvings? It looked like a bird, and then they replicated exactly the way it was, and that bitch flew.
Yeah.
BC. BC. I'm saying that for a reason. These motherfuckers already had airports. The good book says there's nothing new under the sun, and it really was for real. When you go to the Vegas, man, shut me up because I know I've been talking for a while. But when you go to the Vegas, the Akashian records, read that shit. That's a landslide older than the Holy Bible, the Akashian records. When you talk about India, and how it showed about the stupas, and it showed about these records of them battles happening BC in the sky, where these intelligent beings, along with intelligent humans, using nuclear-powered spacecraft with weapons of mass destruction, and they find them. They're going at it. They're going to war.
Right. So do you believe in AI?
Yeah, I have to. I have to, because we are the product of AI. Let me say that. The only way that the powers that be could create a system that behaves like us is it had to create systems that watch us. Watch this. That's what social media is all about. I'm sorry, my brothers and sisters, includes me too. We the people, helped build AI. We put our sensitivities and we put our feelings and our emotions, and then they watch the way we spend our money, and then they build graphs on that, and then they watch the way we buy cars, and they build graphs on that, and then they watch what happens during natural disaster, and what do they do with that? And you see what I'm saying? The schematics have already been built on how we behave in certain situations. We help build AI. So whether we like it or not, we're dependent on AI.
Mm-hmm.
Think I'm lying? Go a day without your phone and see how peaceful it is. I found that by accident. I lost that bitch, and I was like, damn. I went to work. They went haywire. We had to use apps. We had to go old school paper. But I was like, I ain't got to worry about data. I ain't got to worry about this. It was surreal.
Right.
If you ask me my phone number, I could barely tell it to you. You know why?
Oh, that's come on now. Same thing. I'm here.
What do you think that is? It's a product of us relying on AI.
Right.
Our phones, our smart TVs. Notice they add the adjective smart. Just in case if you couldn't figure that shit out.
Smart.
Just in case if you couldn't figure out why your TV is doing what it's doing, let's just go and add an adjective in front of the noun. Smart
Right.
TV. Don't be alone. This motherfucker can think. Well, why? Because they've been studying us. Hey, come on, let's be honest. I know I might be stepping on some toes, but some of us put all our business on social media.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So let me ask you a question, Sam. Like with all this knowledge that you have, this knowledge, the wisdom that you have, like, what is your next move? Are you gonna put it into a book, or you gonna put it into music? What are you gonna do with this knowledge that you have, that you created, that you have? Because it's a lot of knowledge. These people need to hear this.
All I can say is, all I can do is hope for more platforms like this to where I don't have to sit down and concentrate on writing a book. I have mad respect for writers that can. I try to do it. It is, you have to have a gift to write a book. You know what I mean? To stay that focused. I just hope that there's more platforms where I can just go live and just spit. You know, just spit and feed off of whoever that's interviewing me and also learn from them too.
Right.
Because keep in mind, this ain't a one-way. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but I've learned a lot from Grenade today, and I learned a lot from you. And like I say, iron sharpens iron, right? So this ain't a one-way street. This is where we are sharpening each other.
Right.
You know, for as the platform, being on more platforms like this, where people are willing to ask questions and say, okay, I really want to hear your answer. And I appreciate you, my brother, for allowing this side effect. Because keep in mind, you know, we just doing what we normally do over the phone. We've done this so much doing it over the phone, just having a little smoke, have some drink, and then just start talking.
Right.
And you know, you came up with a brilliant idea of just, hey, let's figure out a way how to video it, and
yeah. I mean, my thing was like, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just talk about it. Let's get paid for it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding. I tell people all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like one of my biggest prayers that I pray is the prayer of Solomon. You know,
nice.
Give me wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. But when I look at you, when I talk to you, you're like King David. You know what I mean? You're like King David.
Here you go again. Here you go again.
Now, the reason I say that because King David was the greatest musician at that time.
True.
He was so cold that he puts, because Solomon had migraines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was Saul. Yeah, Saul.
King Saul.
Yeah.
Had migraines. And before he became the king, he played music to entertain him and just relax his mind.
And nothing can do it until he heard David play the harp, supposedly.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
David play the harp. He had to submit to his right.
Come on, man. I ain't playing no games. You know what I'm saying?
He knew the old man. The old man was well respected. Old Jesse. Jesse was well respected. It was an old
man.
Yeah.
But Jesse had 12 sons and everything. But they didn't have a channel of
Bonanza where you had a badass dad, and then he spits out like this Pokemon, badass dudes, like Horace Joe, Little Joe, and the older dude. And now this is the thing. How long was David forced as a kid to stay in the wilderness
and fight the lions?
Like they must knew that they must thought he was weird anyway. You know me, I always come from the left field, right? They must thought that David was. Think about it. When you read about this, they made David go in the field when he was a teenager and basically kept him out there. Now his brothers was well respected and was brought into the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had high positions, Jesse's sons. But David was the only one, a little run,
right,
dirty, about what they say. The good book say he had rugged good looks. Rugged good looks. Yeah. So David was the one that was rugged, but had enough skill to where no matter, even when his son, who became a badass, his oldest boy, Absalom, go through the book. King James Version is more dramatic, but go through the book, you read about this dramatic story about how David found out that, because he had a lot of kids, like my man said, that his daughter, I think her name was Tamar, that Tamar was raped, hate to say this, by her brother, one of the boys. Absalom, the oldest boy of David, and a couple of the other brothers,
Yep, you're right.
They found out about it and they say, okay, well, he got to pay. This is in the good book in the Old Testament. So they say we got to pay. So they came up with a plan. They had a little cookout, a little campfire, and they invited Tamar. And when they invited her, they noticed the way this one brother that supposedly raped her behaved, and this was like the story of Caesar, where each brother, family member that was there, I hate to say it sound violent, but they got a piece of it. They stabbed this dude to death.
Right.
Their brother.
Right.
This is in the Bible.
Yep.
Absalom got mad and said, well, evidently he found out that maybe his dad, David, King David, knew about it. And Absalom got so furious that he declared war on David, his dad, his old man. And Absalom was a bad boy. What happened to him?
Yeah. He was a man.
He ride in a high horse, get into the close range to David's territory. In some kind of way, he ran into a tree and got hung. I think it was a tree. He got hung while he was riding his horse on the way to fighting David. His old man.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of extra information. Hey, man.
It's the truth, man.
We can tap out. I mean, I don't know how you can put this long ass shit on YouTube. This shit long.
Hey, man, you did the same, man. Salute to you, man.
Salute.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you get something to eat, man.
Oh yeah, I was trying to do that earlier, but yes, sir. We'll go get something to eat.
Yeah. We'll do it tomorrow or Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
All right, send me that link when you done posting.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send it to you, brother.
All right then.
All right, one.